Welcome to Mom Talk, the talk show for moms. I'm Genevieve Calefave, and I will be your host today. Today we're talking about overcoming stress and overwhelm in your family with Hayley Winter. Hi Hayley, welcome to Mom Talk.
Hi, so nice to see you again.
Yes, so Hayley, you are a clinical counselor registered with CPCA, so it's welcome on the show.
Thank you.
So we're talking about overwhelm and stress.
Yes.
All the families, I think, are a little bit struggling with this, right? So my first question, very simple, what is stress?
So stress is our psychological and physiological reaction to a situation that we perceive as a threat. So as we know, over the last few years in particular, actually there was a recent poll done and 78% of individuals mentioned that they noticed a really heightened level of stress in their lives due to the pandemic. So this is really important conversation to open up, particularly when it comes to how do we deal with this more effectively as families.
Okay. So I'm sure if we're stressed, a high level of stress actually leads to anxiety and depression. Can you tell us the difference between the two?
Yeah, so it certainly can. And I just wanted to mention that stress can actually be really beneficial for us. So as we know, if you have a presentation coming up for work or a student has an exam that they're going to be writing at school, you know, it's very normal to feel a stress response. So it can be very helpful for us. It can actually help us perform better. Mm-hmm. It's when it's prolonged exposure to stress, then it can actually cause really severe health problems for us. Anxiety is excessive worrying. So you may hear people talk about it as having a really negative headspace, feeling excessive sweating, having problems sleeping, feeling really nervous, feeling really fearful and having distorted thinking patterns. Whereas depression it's less about worry and fear, and it's more about excessive sadness and or numbness. So for example, I'll often hear clients talking about feeling like they're in a deep hole or down a rabbit hole, or that they have this black cloud that follows them around on a daily basis.
Okay. So now can you talk about dysfunctional thinking pattern? We hear this here and there. It's a little bit of a buzzword these days. So
yes.
What is that exactly?
Definitely. So this is really a distorted, unhealthy way of thinking that we can become quite trapped in if we're not conscious of it. So it can lead us to depression, anxiety, and other mental health problems. So it's really important that both as parents and also as, you know, teens or young adults, that we're able to recognize when we're stuck in those distorted thinking patterns.
So Hayley, my next question, what are the ways that we can manage like stress and overwhelming situation more effectively in our families?
Yeah, and that's a great question. So I would begin by noticing and recognizing those distorted thinking patterns. So it's really that all or nothing thinking. It's very black and white. Often it's, it creates a real sense of hopelessness in one's life. So it's important that we start focusing on the positives in our life as well. One way that we can do this is, first and foremost, especially for moms, self-care. You know, if the wheels fall off your wagon, as I often say to clients, what good are you to your family and to people in your community? So self-care, looking after yourself first and foremost, without the feelings of guilt. Taking time out when you need it. If you arrive home from work or you're at home with your children and there's conflict, it's okay to step away. Take a few moments to yourself, cool down, and then you can have a conversation with your children in a way that will be more receptive to everybody. connecting with other people, so within your community, really finding your tribe, finding people that can help lift the load a little. So if you need help picking your children up from school, or if you need help with activities, finding your tribe and working together to help limit the responsibilities that you're feeling, the weight that you're carrying. Another great tool that I often recommend to clients is at the dinner table with your children, talking about 3 things that you're grateful for that day. So often people, when you ask them, what are you grateful for? They'll say their health, their family, but actually try and be more specific. So drill down into 3 specific things that happened during your day. It may be that somebody opened the door for you. It might be that somebody, smiled at you or thanked you for something that you did. So when we are focused on the positives in life, we really help ourselves to stay in a more positive frame of mind.
We did talk about, in another episode, about how sometimes some families are stuck between overwhelmed with taking care of their children, but also the parents. So there's 2 basically identity there, and a lot of overwhelm and guilt comes with that. So do you have any tips?
Yes, I do. And my biggest tip is working as a family unit. So ensuring that the children feel important, that they feel heard, that they feel like they're part of something greater. If you can get, takeout or once a week or whatever, cook batches of food and have that ready to go. Something that I really love is including children in tasks at home to help the parents. So an example of this might be doing an app, like downloading an app. There's an app that I recently downloaded with my son, and it's working in miraculous ways, and it's called Mido. You do have to pay a small amount every month, but what it is they, instead of just giving money for pocket money once a month or once a week, you actually set up chores. So the child is accepting responsibility, it's teaching them to follow through, it's teaching them budgeting, and at the same time, it's really helping you work in a more cohesive manner as a family.
So how does that work? You basically get to tick things when they're finished?
Exactly. So you assign them tasks. It might be to make sure that their room's tidy, to unpack the dishwasher, to bring in the garbage and take out the recycling. And then you might allot, $3 to a task or $5, depending on what the task is. So it's really a discussion for you to sit down with your children and agree upon an amount. And then, if they do the task, great, they tick it off exactly as you said, and then you transfer the money into their Mido account.
I like how this is a great way to be creative because, when we're overwhelmed in our family, well, we don't have another family to go to. This is our family, right? So we have to find solution inside our family situation.
Yes.
And apps or asking for help and all those things around can be a solution.
Yes.
Or when is a good time to go see someone?
So if you're really noticing that you're having dark thoughts, that your energy is lacking, that you're really feeling it difficult getting out of bed, you're noticing your motivation is not quite where it used to be, it's a really good time to go see someone and talk to somebody about your problems. There are so many different therapeutic approaches that can help. And sometimes it's just a matter of talking to someone that's more neutral, that can be there to support you, that can help you find some solutions for the challenges that you're experiencing.
Mm-hmm. And of course, sooner the better.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
So Hayley, thank you so much for being with us today. Where can we find you?
So my website is cypresstreecounseling.com, CYPRESS. And I'm also on Instagram as well, Cypress Tree Counseling.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. To contact us or to view all our available episodes, please visit mom-talk.ca. And also you can find us on YouTube at MomTalk and also under the Tri-Cities Community Television YouTube channel and on our podcast, MomTalk, that was formerly Parent Talk Podcast. If you're an expert, please contact us. We want to hear from you. Maybe you would like to join us on an episode on the show. So Mom Talk would like to thank our generous sponsors, Tri-Cities Community Television, and our community sponsors, La Société Francophone de Maillardville. If you know a mom that would benefit from this episode, please share it with her. We want to help one another, and by sharing it, our message just go a little further. Always remember, it's important to laugh, keep learning, cherish your village, and be true to yourself. I'm Genevieve Lefebvre, and thank you for joining us.
Visit us at mom-talk.ca to access our podcast library and stay up to date with our latest content. Follow us on social media for more tips, hacks, and inspiration. Thank you for joining us on this exciting journey of motherhood.